So, all over social media, whether it be TikTok or YouTube, I see these goth creators. They all say fairly similar things. You can't be goth if you vote for this person. You can't be goth if you vote for that party. You can't be goth if you do this. You can't be goth if you do that. The same with punk. Now, to me, goth and punk are part of the counterculture. They are about going against what is considered normal. They're about being your own person and standing up for what you personally believe in. Not going along with the mainstream, not going along with what other people think, other people's ideologies, other people's beliefs. Let me adjust this. Goth and punk are about being your own person and establishing your own beliefs, your own values, your own morals, about developing your own code, your own style, your own personality. But today, even old school OG goths, OG punks will often say you can't be goth, you can't be punk if you're right wing. You can't be goth, you can't be punk if you vote for Trump or for the Republican Party or whatever. But the thing about it is that since these parties, or since these subcultures, these countercultures, are supposed to go against the mainstream, which is the definition of counterculture. They're counter to the popular culture. With liberalism being the culture of the world today, being the mainstream, nothing would be more punk rock than to go the other way. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who considers themselves punk or goth or part of the counterculture or whatever has to vote for Trump, because I don't even think I'm going to vote for Trump. I don't know. I don't consider myself conservative or Republican. I don't consider myself Democrat or liberal. I have some beliefs, some values that correspond with both sides. I'm more independent, and I generally vote for the person I believe is right for the country at that time. I don't know if that person in this election is former President Trump. I don't know if that person is Vice President Harris. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to politics anymore because of how volatile it has become in recent years. But I do know that if you feel you're goth or you're punk, then you are. If you have if you relate to it, if you relate to the style, if you relate to the art, if you relate to the music, if you relate to the media, the poetry, the film, the whatever, it's not just one thing. You know, you have all these people in punk, in goth, who say you can't be this if you don't listen to the music. I personally have never believed that. I have considered myself goth since 1998. Since I was about 15 years old. I was the only goth in my small town. There were a little over 300 people in my high school total. I was the only goth. Everyone else came from a farming community, Even now, going into that same school for my children's awards or their performances or whatever, and everyone basically has the same uniform, the jeans with the button-down shirts, and in the cooler months, the vest, the whatever you call them, and the trucker caps, And I'm usually standing out because I have more of a bohemian goth style. And that's how I've always been. I feel that if you consider yourself part of the counterculture, then you are. It's not about the music entirely. Yeah, the music plays its part, but I have always felt that, not that I'm religious or anything, but everything I know about the biblical Jesus Christ, he was total punk rock. He was the counterculture. And this was way before punk rock music even existed. The Addams Family, the Munsters, total goth, before goth music even existed. Edgar Allan Poe, goth, before goth music. Mary Shelley, Bram Stoker, goth. There's so many people throughout history I would consider punk or goth. And this is before the music even existed, before our current politics even existed. If you go against the mainstream, if you go against popular culture, you are punk. You are a rebel. You are, goth is a subgenre of punk, specifically post-punk. It's a mindset. It's a style. It's a code. It's not just a music genre. It's not just a political movement. It's who you are. It's how you feel. The music just reaches that part of you. The art style just reaches that part of you. When I talk about art style, there is specific punk rock art style. There is specific goth art style. Not just architecture, but an artistic style. H.R. Giger, for instance, would be considered goth. Biomech goth. For those of you who don't know who H.R. Giger is, he designed Alien. His artwork inspired the design of Alien, the xenomorphs from the Alien movies. And so many different artists. I would put Tim Burton in the goth category. I don't know if he listens to goth music or not, but you look at his films, you watch his films, it's hard not to feel like he is goth. You look at the way he dresses, the way he presents himself in public, you look at who he is goth. It's, if you're going to gatekeep like that and say you can't be this or you can't be that, if you don't listen to this, or if you believe in that, if you vote for this person or that party, you can't be this, then you're a poser. I fully believe that, because you feel that you have to fit in to a specific definition in order to be considered punk, goth, metalhead, whatever. And I understand where people are coming from in that aspect, but at the same time, I don't accept what they're saying, and neither should you. You know, I do watch a lot of Angela Benedict's videos on here and other goth creators, and a lot of what they say, you know, I accept. You know, they have the right to their opinion and everything, but they don't have the right to tell you whether you can consider yourself goth or punk or whatever. They don't have the right to gatekeep. Because as long as you're going against the popular culture, as long as you're going against what is considered normal, then you have every right to consider yourself punk or goth. And I'm not gonna edit this because I feel this is very heartfelt video. And yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna get some trolls who talk about my speech patterns or whatever. But all I have to say to that is, so remember, the gatekeepers don't speak for the entire culture. The gatekeepers can't tell you who you are. Only you can do that. So if you consider yourself punk, if you consider yourself goth, if you consider yourself a metalhead or whatever, you are. Music only plays a small part of it. And though politics is a big part of it, it's not the end-all be-all. You know, you have to make your own decisions for yourself. And if you view those beliefs as punk rock, then they are. That's all there is to it. Don't let anyone else judge you, because if they judge you, they aren't very punk, in my opinion. Take care.